What is up, guys? Greg Newmaster coming at you again with another action figure review unboxing. I got here the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Yellow Ranger Trini from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the original team, the best team. So I'm gonna just got it in the mail today. Was really excited, wanted to open it up with you and experience it together for the first time. Um, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, unbelievable when it first came out. Probably my favorite show of the 1990s. One of them. There are so many good ones. But it was just amazing. I remember my greatest memory for Christmas was when the Bandai Rangers figures first came out. It was huge, so they were sold out everywhere. And my favorite character was the Green Ranger, Tommy. And my mom, bless her soul, waited in line at 5 in the morning at Toys R Us and got me Tommy the Green Ranger and the Dragon Zord. Actually, she got me all the Rangers. It was the greatest Christmas I ever had. Because I thought there was no way she was going to be able to get those for me, my parents, and because they had just sold out. It was the time of like Tickle Me Elmo, when like people were obsessed with that and nobody could get it, and the Power Rangers were just like that. But my mom got it for me. Power Rangers just so cool. Just like going off the wave of martial arts that started with the Ninja Turtles and then transitioned into Power Rangers. And I was a martial artist as a kid, so just to see these teenagers who got these awesome powers, could do all these awesome martial arts, and then the Zords, oh my goodness, how cool was the Megazord, the Dragon Zord, and they'd fight these Godzilla-like villains that Rita could blow up with her magic. Just such a great show. So, I got Trini here. I'm collecting the original team. That's all I want. I didn't go any further than Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because I like the new team so much, and because the show, what they did is they took old footage from the Japanese show and spliced it together with new scenes using American actors and just creating a new show, which was originally called the Sentai series. And because they had to do that and they were working with old footage, it really messed up the continuity and the plot lines of the story. So they had to make all these weird decisions. But Trini was the original Yellow Ranger, and she was awesome. But for whatever reason, they replaced Trini. Who did they replace? They replaced Trini. They replaced Zach, the Black Ranger. And they replaced Jason, the Red Ranger, who's probably equal with the Green Ranger in popularity, Tommy. So they replaced Trini, Jason, and Zach with Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, and it was so silly, and it was so dumb, and it was such a disappointment. And then from that moment on, the show started to go downhill. But in the recent, last 5 years, they put out a comic book, and there's a huge resurgence in the awesomeness of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Not only that, this one action film director made a rated R version of Power Rangers, and that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I hope that they make a movie out of that someday, because that was so cool. That was the right tone for it. It was the Rangers all grown up, battle scarred with PTSD, and Rita's still there. It was a real dark and gritty version of it. But in the comic books, they have the Shattered Grid storyline, which they're introducing all of these awesome new characters, like Lord Drakon, who's my favorite. He's the what if Tommy stayed bad and never turned to good and became this evil dictator. So many cool things with the comic book, the resurgence of Power Rangers. So let's crack open Trini and get a good look at her. And then we'll compare her with some other Power Rangers figures I have here. So here's the box. There's the front. There's the side. Just a very basic box. Her in a pose on the back. Believe it or not, maybe some of you don't know this, but in the in the Sentai version, the Yellow Ranger, the Tiger Ranger, was actually played by a young boy. So that's why Trini doesn't have a skirt like Kimberly, because the original Yellow Ranger was a boy. So if you look at the Japanese footage when you're watching Power Rangers, you can tell it's a boy. But they wanted to have two girls on the team. So very simple box. Don't really care about the box, but let's crack this baby open so you guys can see. I can see what we got. So here we go. I'm so pleased with these figures because they give you their head sculpts. So let's look at Trini's face. Get a good look at that there. That's a really nice head sculpt. Whatever new technology Hasbro has been using with Star Wars, with the Avengers figures, Marvel Legends, the new head sculpts have just gotten next level with the shading and the detail. That's really good. My Trini here has, she's like a rough chin there. So I'm going to have to smooth that with an X-Acto knife, cut that off because it looks like she's got a soul patch. Has a little beard there. Trini should not have facial hair. But really nice head sculpt. So let's bust her out here. Get a good look at her. Now, right off the bat, I'm immediately looking at this, and this has been a big problem with these figures. Let me say that these figures are awesome, but they give them too small of necks. For whatever reason, they need to lengthen the neck a little bit because you can't see it. Like, look at how big the helmet is. It looks like she doesn't have a neck. But a really good body mold. I really like the mold for these. Especially the women. They did a really good job on the women. The men, not so much. The men look the male body mold looks a little bit clunkier. It's kind of like in the show when they would show the American footage of them in the suits, and they looked all fat and baggy. And then when they would cut to the Japanese footage, the Ranger suits were all streamlined and looked fantastic. So that's kind of what I get when I look at the body mold for the men. Like, it's like the American footage where they're wearing the cheaper suits and they're not fitted to them properly. But the females look fantastic. Like, this figure looks great. So there she is from the back. Let's check out the articulation. So head can go back that far. Go down about that far. We got the butterfly shoulders. This is brand new, so I'm doing this for the first time, so some joints may be stuck. Really good, though. She can get her arms in that far. Get the shoulders up nice and high. Very nice. Can even, like, pull her arms back like that. Get into a very dynamic pose. Very nice with the waist, and look how far of a back bend she could do there. That's awesome. Comes forward about that much. The belt is a very soft rubber. Not super soft, but soft enough. We got the torso articulation where she can turn in the torso. There's no hip swivel, so it's in the solar plexus swivel, we can say. No double jointed elbows, but a little more than 90 degrees, which is fine. We have elbow swivel, no bicep swivel. We got joints in the wrist, so the wrists can bend kind of tight, complete rotation there. I'll show you the accessories in a second, but we have another set of hands. Let's get her a little bit moving there. Leg goes up about that far for a nice ninja kick. Goes out to the side, almost a full straddle, but not completely. The leg doesn't go backwards at all, so we can kind of get her into a sort of like a split, but not completely. We got thigh cut, yeah. Got double jointed knees, very nice. Because they always do that jumping pose when they would jump up on top of the Megazord or sort of like teleport, or they would just like jump in formation. Power Rangers was so fun because it was like a little bit of like Cirque du Soleil, just very synchronized, like jumping and fighting together. Yeah, so double jointed knees. We got boot cut at the top there. It's in the upper calf. Ankle pivot, up and down, very nice. Oh, look, they even have, like, the detail on the boots, so we got some tread on the boots there. That's a really nice touch. Even the nice little details there. Very nice ankle pivot. So, yeah, that's pretty good for the articulation. Can get her into some really nice dynamic poses. So, very good. Like I said, it's just, like, the neck is really short. So, let's pop this head off. Yeah, because like look at that neck joint. It looks long without the helmet, but when you have the helmet on it, ooh, get this head on. It's really hard to put this head on. There we go. Yeah, so it looks a little bit better with her unhelmeted head. That's just see, I love these. They're doing such a good job with these realistic looking faces. So I still say that the neck could be just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. So there Trini is with her head. So let's get a look at the accessories that come with it. We get these blast effects. I don't know. I don't really care about these. They're just kind of clunky. I mean, I don't know. If you want to pose the figures and have like a blast effect, whatever. Here we have the I don't remember what it's called. It's their Power Rangers gun. This thing was actually such a cool weapon. So I think in the first episode they only have their blasters before they are able to summon their special weapons. But this gun was so cool because not only was it a gun, but it also turned into like a little mini sword dagger. So they don't give you that effect, which they could pretty easily. Put a little hinge there to close it up and do a little flip out blade. That would be going the extra mile though. The SH Figuarts, which were the best, I think the best Power Ranger figures ever made. So it goes in the holster like that. The SH Figuarts ones, they came with multiple like looks of that. So they had like the blade out. So here's her. I don't know if they're called like tiger daggers. Yeah, look, nice detail. They even have like the emblem on them. They're so small so you can't really see it. Just painted real nice. Yeah, but the SH Figuarts, I mean, they were like $100 anyhow, but they went super detailed. I'll show you an SH Figuarts figure in a moment when I do a comparison, but here she is with her daggers. You can kind of get her in like a dynamic pose. Very Power Rangers-esque. Yeah, so awesome. Just waiting for the Blue Ranger to come out, and then I'll have the full team, which is all I want. Granted, they released Zach with the Dragon Shield, and they released Jason with the Dragon Shield. They just released a regular Jason without the Dragon Shield, but I actually like the figures with the Dragon Shield from the Green Ranger, so I don't really need the regular ones without. Look at the detail on her buckle. Very nice. Not perfect, but you can almost see the power coin in the morpher with the tiger. So there she is. Let's check out. You get 2 sets of hands. So if you want to put her in like a, pop that out there. If you want to put her into like a karate pose, where she has like a, because they always do like fancy like hand poses. It's like they're doing their forms or katas in martial arts, and they always have to show off like different hand poses. But yeah, so those are the accessories. Here's a close-up of the helmet. The helmets are like, they did a better job on the women's helmets. Like Jason's helmet, this looks pretty proportionate and accurate. But if you look at Jason's helmet, it doesn't look as good. These aren't quite as good, like I said, as the SH Figure Arts, but for a $20 figure, this is great. Like, absolutely great. Here she is with Kimberly. Quick comparison. So like I said, Kimberly gets the skirt. 1, because she's pink, and 2, because the Tiger Ranger in the Super Sentai was a boy. So not to be crude, but the Yellow Ranger was broader as a male and flat-chested. They give them a little bit of shape there, as you can see. So female figures are excellent. Here she is compared to, I love this. This is my favorite Power Ranger figure. This is Lord Drakon, the evil Green Ranger, Green-White Ranger. What an awesome figure. Like, look at that face. Look at how cool that face is. And this version of Tommy, he's all mangled and scarred. You see, like, the scarring on his jaw there. He's all old and just so evil. What a great villain for the Rangers. What a great storyline. If you haven't read that comic, pick up Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Shattered Grid. It is so good. So good. Such a great continuation of the story. But there she is compared to the male. Like I said, like the male body mold just doesn't look as sleek as it could be. These are way better than the Bandai figures that came out like 10 years ago. They were way more cartoonish. And here she is with my SH Figure Arts Green Ranger. The SH Figure Arts are significantly smaller. They're about 5 inches. The Lightning Collection are 6 inches. But look at how sleek and just detailed they are. The Bandai figures are awesome. The only annoying thing is when they first released them, they just came as is. Look at this, is my favorite Green Ranger action figure by far. But they didn't give them the head swap. They released them again and gave them their human heads, which Hasbro did right away, which gives Hasbro a little bit more points. But nothing beats these SH Figure Arts in terms of Power Rangers. They're just so expensive. Like, if you want the Soul Chogokin Megazord, that's like $500. I just can't afford that. Even though it's like the best Megazord ever made. But that's, the Japanese, their quality is just so much better. Like, look at the detail on his boots. He's got the toe articulation, the black feet. It's just painted immaculately. The sculpt is perfect. You just can't beat the SH Figure Arts. The articulation, amazing. Love this guy. But anyhow, yeah, so there's the Yellow Ranger for you. We got Trini looking awesome. I'd say, here, like that does not capture the look of Amy Jo Johnson very well. So that's not a good head sculpt for Kimberly. But Trini looks great. That looks just like the actress. I think her name was Tui Flang or Tui Tang or something like that. Looks just like her. excellent head sculpt for Trini. Way better than Kimberly. And this is an excellent head sculpt for Lord Drakon, who looks like just like Tommy. So, yeah, guys, highly recommend this figure. If you're a huge Power Rangers fan, go out and get Trini. Billy's coming out soon. I think he's coming out the summertime. So then you'll be able to have the full collection. $20 figures. Can't beat it if you're a huge Power Rangers fan. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, feel free to comment. I'm always up for a good discussion. Love the Power Rangers. Yes, get this figure. All right, I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you. Goodbye.